how we get our stream started right there. Start the stream off with a Dutch until Dutch is sponsoring the shows. That's how we do things on this end, you guys. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. I am your host, Mikey T, the movie star. Got started a little bit late, man. I was riding around town, getting a couple things situated before I came here on the live stream tonight. But there's a hell of a lot of news out there, so we're going to get into it all tonight. Whole bunch of interviews circulating. Everybody's really talking right now. Whole bunch of different shit. Last night's stream was epic, man. I'm glad everybody tuned in. We did an amazing watch along. Also, we covered some hip hop news that's going on right now. Obviously, there's a couple major stories out there swirling around about the Dipset guys. Mace was having a conversation with Wack 100 about Freaky Zeke. Y'all know that I have a little bit of a history with both Freaky Zeke and Mace. You know, my first interview was with Freaky Zeke. I did have an opportunity to chop it up with Mace. Major salute to my guy Arizona Slim for putting that encounter together. Buffalo in the building, was popping with you, man. Major salute to my guy James Brown. Hulk Strong is in the building as well. Appreciate you guys for tapping in tonight, man. Hit that like button, share this video. Rolling something up right now. For everybody that missed it, I threw up today I'm smoking on some loud, man. Today I am smoking on some loud. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest with you. I got it from my boy, and the shit is some loud pack. Let me roll this up. Going up a nice big Dutch. I'm off the pre-grounds today, you guys. I'm off those pre-rolls. Back on the Dutches. Get something twisted up. Hell yeah. Yeah, I got 2 different strands today, actually, and they were both hitting. Gotta be real. Them shits was both hitting. Get this shit twisted up. I got a lighter right here, so we Gucci. About to light this shit up. About to get going tonight, man. Where we at with this? Lighting up some good kush, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys missed it, but last night we had Freeway on the show. Last night, Freeway actually popped on the show. But y'all, I got something special for everybody tonight. Something special for you, Twiz, being the blogger out of Philly. Something special for all the viewers who continuously tap in, man. And you know, it's dope to see all the major artists who tap into the show on a regular basis as well. Our viewers who have been tuning in all night, appreciate you all. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Freeway.
What's up, y'all? What's good with y'all?
Oh man,
jeez.
I just wanted to stop in and say what's up. You know.
Salam alaikum, man.
Walaikum salam. What's up,
Free.
bro?
That was really you, bro. I wasn't trying to comment because I didn't think that was you, man. It's heavy, man. We got Freezer in the building, man. Salute to you, Free.
It's love, man. Keep doing what you do, bro.
Appreciate you, man. It's an honor to have you in this joint, man. It's crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, Free. While I got you for a second, how was it getting the opportunity to be in Bel-Air, man? That was really heavy. How they not only used your music for the opening scene with Will Smith, but had you in a scene in the film.
Yeah, that was dope. I mean, when they reached out to me for the scene, you know, I was excited about it. We shot out LA and filmed it, but I didn't know that they was gonna start the series off with the song and everything. That was real dope, man. It was a dope surprise. And they really on point because they implemented a lot of Philly artists and they in tune with the culture. That's why it's so successful so far.
How have you felt seeing the series play out? I actually just spoke with Easy, the block captain, who plays the lead villain in the show.
Shout out to Easy. He doing his thing on all levels, on the battle scene, on a regular music scene, and he doing his thing on the acting. So salute him.
Hell yeah, man.
Big
He's really
facts.
He's really. If anybody missed it last night, Freeway actually came on the channel, man. For everybody that's just logging in today that actually didn't see that last night, I was just playing it for you guys. Really shows you how far things are going for the channel, man. Shows you who's staying in tune, what we can do in the future, man. So I hope you all continue to tune in, hit the like button, share this video. You know what I'm saying? Check it out if you didn't see it. Killing it on that end. Did you ever
Matter of fact, I seen when we was out there shooting, we were staying at the same hotel. We bumped into each other, chopped it up.
That's what's up. Did you ever think we'd see Bel-Air get a relaunch like this?
Man, I wasn't even expecting it, but I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. It's a blessing because I grew up off of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so to be a part of it, be a part of the reboot is definitely a blessing and it adds to my legacy.
Twiz,
Man.
we got Free. I mean, I really want to
listen, bro.
with you in depth in the future, Free. But Twiz, did you have anything you wanted to ask, bro?
Man, Free, I can't believe you just tapped in, bro. I didn't even think that was you in the comments. That's why I wasn't even, what I'm saying, bro, like, bro, I'm 34, man, and just what state property did for my era, bro, to being able to y'all motivated a lot of us, bro, like the DVD era. And a lot of upcoming artists, man. It's like y'all gave us hope, bro. And
I appreciate it,
man,
bro.
Real rap, man, what y'all did was legendary, bro. I still ride around listening to, the Hot 97s and all.
If anybody missed it last night, Freeway actually tapped onto the channel. I know a lot of you might have logged off. I really appreciate everybody tuning in last night for the news. We went over basically everything that's been going on with Wack 100 and Mace, Wack 100 and Freaky Zeke, but we also did a exclusive watch along. We did an exclusive watch along for my interview with Arab, my very first interview with Arab, actually. And then Freeway tapped in. Unexpectedly, Freeway tapped in. He was watching. So, that's why you got to keep your guard up. You know what I mean? That's why you always got to keep your game face on. That's why you always got to be ready to go because you never know who is watching y'all. You know what I mean? You never know who's watching out there. You never know who has their eye on you, man. So that's why you always need to be ready. And I like to stay about my business. You know what I mean? I like to stay consistent. I never stop with this shit, you guys. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in, just like you are tonight. We have some dope news to speak on. Meek Mill, apparently he's going to have to square up with Wack 100. Apparently it's going to be a fair one. Wack 100 apparently wants a Meek Mill squabble. Meek Mill, Wack 100, celebrity boxing. Could we potentially get it in that area? Can we get Wack 100 versus Meek Mill on that platform, you guys? Wack has made it completely obvious that he is not an artist. Wack is not a rapper. So versus doesn't make any sense. This isn't a Meek Mill in game thing anymore. The Meek Mill in the game issues have been put aside. You know what I mean? Those issues have been put to the side. And Wack actually explained that, how those issues were put to the side. Meek Mill actually had somebody contact Wack 100 to have those issues ended. So that shows you right there how much the affiliation of Wack 100 is important. Right there, Wack 100 being the one to have ended the beef with the game. What up, YNR? Appreciate you for tapping in. That's right, a squabble. Wack 100's words, a squabble. Hulk says, I think Wack wants one on the street style. Yeah, one-on-one. You know what I mean? No interference, no 40 Glock type shit. You know what I mean? Will that happen? I mean, I could say it probably might be a one-on-one thing from Wack 100's end, but Meek Mill is currently at the point of his career where nobody's gonna let Meek Mill get touched. I remember at one point when O'Malley had said this about the game. Like O'Malley said, if the game touches Meek, he's gonna be on his ass. If anybody touches Meek, O'Malley said they were gonna be on his ass. Uh, Dead Man Walking, appreciate you for tapping in. I appreciate everybody who hits the link and taps in. Dead Man Walking says, I love Meek, but call Meek Mill punch in the punching bag. And we all know he probably can't fight. He's a shooter, not a fighter. Bro, Dead Man Walking, I'm not gonna call Meek Mill a punching bag, as much as we've seen other rappers be punching bags, as much as we've seen other rappers actually have their chains stolen. You know what I'm saying? Chains passed around by several other people. These are things that some rappers have gone through. We've never seen Meek Mill go through this. Meek Mill, he got a couple diss records on him by the game. Not by the game. The game had one diss record on him called Pest Control. Somebody let me know if there was a second diss. You know what I mean? Let me know if there was a second diss. I don't think there was. Pest Control was like, 9 minutes long? The game went all out on that shit. But Meek actually had a couple disses on him from Drake. So a lot of people were thinking that Meek Mill was kind of a coward for not responding to Drake. They're like, what's up with this guy? Meek Mill's not going to respond to Drake. Why is he taking so long to respond to Drake? Even Wack had said in regard to when a rapper gets out of jail, they have a good 10 days to get that record out. Now, it's a similar fashion to when somebody has a diss record put out about you. Dead Man says, no, I meant to say we've seen him punch on the punching bag. Oh, okay. Okay. And let's not forget about the age difference. You know what I mean? Let's not forget about the age difference when it comes to these guys as well. Because the age difference comes into play when we're talking about rounds, when we're talking about stamina. You know what I mean? When we're talking about the ability to deliver a fight. Wack 100's and what does he have? 20 years on Meek? Am I a little bit overboard on that? But he's got over maybe a decade and a half at the very least on Meek Mill. So it doesn't really sound fair in that regard. But of course, Wack 100 is going to go from wanting to promote a fight with his artist, his artist, the Tatiana artist, Blueface, to of course wanting his own battle, wanting his own fight. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of crazy to see how this all plays out. And then Little Baby, or not, excuse me, not Little Baby. Well, that's kind of where this all starts off, though. That's kind of where this all starts off from Little Baby actually doing an album with Lil Durk. That's kind of where it all starts off. And as we all see now, with DaBaby and NBA YoungBoy's project coming out, projected to do about 30,000 units, it looks like there's not much buzz there around that. There's not as much buzz surrounding DaBaby's project with NBA YoungBoy as there was with Lil Durk and Lil Baby. But I was chopping it up with Big Chuck earlier. I was chopping it up on his Clubhouse, and some people were saying, artists like NBA YoungBoy, artists like DaBaby, they're not more known for their sales when it comes to working with other artists. Now, I know that Lil Baby, who had come into the game with Gunna, was actually known for doing better sales. They had actually teamed up and they moved about 150,000 units together on that album they did. So there's some prior success there. And with Lil Durk's album with Lil Baby, that album actually did over 700,000 units. I wouldn't be shocked if it was at 1 million at this point. I honestly would not be shocked at this point about that. Let's go. I know we were up late last night. I know we were up late last night, but there is shit to talk about. DaBaby has put out a extended message. DaBaby has put out an extended message that we have got to go over tonight, y'all. You know what I'm saying? DaBaby is standing on his record, on his more than a record. DaBaby is standing on his album with NBA YoungBoy. Why wouldn't he though? You know, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, NBA YoungBoy couldn't save DaBaby's career." Right now, DaBaby is going through hell. Right now, DaBaby is getting called out by so many different people. We saw what he was going through late last year, late 2021, after he made a couple different comments that put him on Front Street. You know what I mean? That put him in front of so many different people that were starting to pick away at him. You know, after he was doing so well, everybody wanted DaBaby to hit their stage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted DaBaby to rock their crowd. I've been there, literally, right in front of DaBaby, filming him. You know what I mean? I know how DaBaby rocks a stage. He's a gracious dude as well, polite dude. You know, he gave me a drop after the show. We shook hands. He asked me what I needed. You know what I mean? It wasn't no bullshit. He saw that I was serious there with the camera. Highly doubt he knew who I was beforehand, but I was sure as hell there to make sure he knew who I was, period. You know what I'm saying? That's the name of the game, you guys. Like when I met Drake, you get an opportunity to meet Drake, you let Drake know who you are. You know, DaBaby doing this project with NBA YoungBoy, I would have thought the sales would have been bigger. I would have thought the projected sales would have been a lot bigger. But coming out with projections of 25 to 30K, even if it ramps up and does 35 to 40,000, those sales are still minute. Those sales are still minor in comparison to what everyone thought an album with, you know, Kirk and YoungBoy would have done. You know what I'm saying? NBA YoungBoy literally just moved 69,000 units on his own in January, the end of January. Before that, in September, he moved 136,000 units on his own. DaBaby had a string of albums that sold over 100,000 units. So these two guys coming together, I had said it weeks ago. I don't know if you guys remember it. I said not DaBaby. I said NBA YoungBoy's a genius. He's a genius. Lil Durk has the album with, Lil Baby. NBA YoungBoy countered that with an album with DaBaby. So now he's got Durk beat 2 albums plus a duet album to Lil Durk having an album, a duet album. But Durk is going to match him up with the 7220 album that drops on March 11th. And Lil Durk posted an Instagram message, maybe to NBA YoungBoy, maybe to anybody in general. He said he dares anybody to drop on his date. Share this video for me, everybody. I don't know if you saw it, but Freeway actually joined us last night on the stream.
Bro, so
Yeah,
man,
and we cooking. We got some more stuff coming too. And speaking of state,
Freeway was popping in on the stream. How was it? Sorry about that. Looks like we got some technical difficulties on that. I'll bring it back up in a little bit. Excuse me, but major salute to Freeway for tapping in on the stream last night. That truly shows you that anything can happen here on the stream with Mikey T, the movie star. Wack says Wack is like 60. I wouldn't be shocked if Wack is over the age of 50, 51 years old, 52 years old. You know what I'm saying? So Wack 100 actually boxing Meek Mill. I mean, unless Meek Mill gets a bag for like $1 million to do it, I really don't think he would actually consider it. You know, I think it was just a joke made by EFN on Drink Champs. You know, EFN had said it. He said that would be like a celebrity fight. You know what I mean? Because Wack 100 was on there saying, listen, why does everybody have to say it's beef? Why does everybody have to say it's beef when I just want a little squabble? You know, a little squabble isn't beef. Just because I have a little fight with my friend when we're kicking it, you know, for a week, it doesn't, just because we have a little squabble, it doesn't mean we have beef. It doesn't mean we're not going to go back to being able to see one another like Wack 100 and Meek Mill would have to do. As we've heard, Meek Mill and the Game were actually booked on the same cards. If you guys remember that. Galactic Warrior says, clear your throat. Okay, Galactic Warrior. He's 45 years old. Damn. I was about 7 years off. I was about 7 years off on that one, man. Jay Wavy says, Mikey T, what's up with Dark Low? Anything on him? You know, we were actually just speaking on Dark Low yesterday. His fiance actually posted a GoFundMe for him. So if you just Google search Dark Low GoFundMe, they're actually trying to raise some money right now in order to get a lawyer to fight for Dark Low's appeal, in order for Dark Low's compassionate release to get heard. So everybody just YouTube search or Google search Dark Low GoFundMe. Hit that like button. Share this video. You know, I appreciate everybody that taps into these videos, man. Tonight, we have a couple pieces of hip-hop news to go over. DaBaby pretty much lashing out. He went through it with MEMO600, who we all know has a kind of a shaky relationship with Chicago, with his Chicago natives, and he has a little bit of a shaky relationship with Wack 100 now. You know what I mean? Because at first, it looked like MEMO600 was going to be managed by Wack. You know, at first it seemed like Wack was going to spread his wings and head over to the Chicago market, which I thought was a great move. Turned out that was not going to be the case. And Wack 100 and MEMO600 ended up parting ways. Now, whether that was due to the lack of involvement of Lil Durk, the fact that Memo was not 600, he is 600. The fact that MEMO600 was not OTF at the point. Now, I've heard some speculations that Lil Durk signed MEMO600 back to OTF. I don't really know what sense to make of that, you guys. So you don't have him signed last week. He beefs with Wack 100. So now you sign him back this week. It doesn't really make all that much sense to me. I'm not really knowing how to follow it. Am I supposed to follow it? Is MEMO600 going to be as big of a deal as King Von? I hope he can extend himself and become, you know, a mega star in this game. You know what I mean? I look at all these guys and I wait for them to make the next impact in their career. Like when I first saw Durk bring King Von onto the scene. Like when I first saw Yo Gotti bring Black Youngsta on the scene. That's how it works. When we all saw 50 bring Banks and Buck onto 106 and Park with him. That's how this shit works, you guys. Lil Durk is in the business of putting artists out. He does it a little bit more and a little bit better. I'm not sure if it's a little bit more or a little bit better than the likes of Kodak Black, the likes of NBA YoungBoy, the likes of Chief Keef even. Now, I think we can all agree more artists have actually blown up under Lil Durk than these other guys. Because I don't exactly give Chief Keef the credit for Lil Reese, for Lil Durk, because he did not sign them in the proper way. The same way that Gucci didn't properly sign a lot of these other guys, you know, that everybody gives him the credit for as an A&R. You know, we do know the sound that Gucci Mane helped spread, but he did not properly sign these artists is the issue. Schizo said MEMO600 and DaBaby bad, and I don't know about Memo doing it like King Von had. You know, well, MEMO600 has the opportunity right now where the whole world is looking at him. I'll tell you something, man. Back when I first heard about King Von, you know, King Von wasn't on all the blogs talking like this. King Von kept silent, you know what I mean? Until Durk brought him out to the major outlets, until Durk brought him out to the shows to do his music. And that's sometimes the better way for an artist to do things. They keep their mouth shut and then they perform when it's the time to perform. You know what I'm saying? You keep that mysterious edge to you. That's something that Lil Wayne said is missing with the artist this day. But nowadays, musicians are just bloggers, managers. They're so quick to shoot off at the mouth that they could blow steam. You know what I mean? You blow the steam that an artist had created. You blow the impact that they would have had by blabbing. You know what I'm saying? By ruining it like that. MEMO600 went on the Clubhouse and told all of these old, embarrassing stories about Chief Keef. All these stories about Chief Keef acting like Cuba Gooding Jr. And you know what I mean? Acting like Cuba Gooding Jr. I'm going to need to get out of the car. You know what I mean? You don't tell embarrassing stories like that about the people that you're expecting to put you on. You know, that's one of the major roadblocks that Memo has created for himself. King Von didn't jump on the internet talking about every time that Lil Durk didn't want to go out and catch a lick. You know what I mean? Just because Lil Durk probably told him a time or two, you know what I mean? Say like 50 and bang them. You know what I mean? You don't need to go do that today, bang them. Lil Durk, you don't need to go do that today, King Von. You know what I mean? Sometimes some people will listen. But in Memo's situation, I just don't think he has as much guidance through Lil Durk, you know, as some of these other guys are getting right now. So that's a point in time where it's like, you know, if you're not getting the proper guidance that you feel you deserve, then you are going to go off to the left. Then you are going to go off and start shooting your mouth off and trying to get all the publicity and trying to be on every single blog and start a little momentum for yourself, man. Schizo, appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate my guy Jay Wavy for tapping in. Apex, appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Everybody, man, we did it major last night. We were joined by a great guest. And I just got to say, it's amazing to see everybody that's watching the show. Salute to this man for joining us. But y'all, I got something special for everybody tonight. Something special for you, Twiz, being the blogger out of Philly. Something special for all of our viewers who have been tuning in all night. Appreciate you all. Anything can happen on this show, you guys. Anybody could pop in. So that's why I need you all continuously popping in every single night. You know what I'm saying? I could invite anybody on the show, and it was amazing to see this man pop up. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Freeway!
What's up, y'all? What's good with y'all?
Oh man,
jeez.
I just wanted to stop in and say what's up. You know.
Salam alaikum, man.
Walaikum salam.
Oh man,
what's up,
Free.
bro?
That was really you, bro. I wasn't trying to comment because I didn't think that was you, man. It's heavy, man.
It's heavy, man. We had Freeway on the live stream last night, so you really never know who is tapping in on the show, you guys. That's why it's so important that we continue this. We continue to get this momentum. You know the Bel-Air deal is coming. Rick Ross is going to be like, damn, Mikey T is that Bel-Air blogger. They're going to know soon enough, you guys. And then we're going to have this endorsement. We're going to be all over all the award shows, all types of shit, all the red carpets. Everybody that messes with us is really going to start showing love. Let them do their thing right now. Right now, we are on the building blocks of what we are creating. Nobody can stop what we're doing. Nobody can stop God's plan, you guys. This is what was supposed to happen in this lifetime. Appreciate you, Apex. Major salute, man. Yes, Schizo, salute to the brother, SV Twiz. Salute. Appreciate you for tapping in, Mike. We have some hot topics to speak on, though, tonight. Wack 100, he also touched on Kodak Black on the Drink Champs interview, man. He also touched on Kodak Black and that whole incident that happened in LA. You know what I mean? He talked about that whole incident that happened in LA, and Kodak was out of his comfort zone. We've seen how Kodak Black has been affected since that shooting in LA, you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Kodak Black has been walking around kind of crazy. He's been having to walk around with a walker. You know what I mean? it looks like he's really hurt. We saw what happened with Benny the Butcher. We saw what happened with Boosie. And that's why I was stressing this. I saw what happened. I saw what happened to Boosie, or more importantly, or not more importantly, just more closely, Benny the Butcher, because of the fact that I follow Benny. Boosie's accounts are always getting taken off of social media, but I follow Benny. So I literally saw the different videos of him going to the doctor, of him going to the people to help him get his walking shit together. When you get shot in the leg, when anything happens to your leg, man, it's going to affect you. And you can just tell, like Boosie had to do his first show. He had to do a show in a wheelchair. Now, when I say it's going to affect you, it can affect the way you're going to walk for the rest of your life, or it can affect you getting a $50,000 bag like it was going to affect Boosie. He was going to miss out on his show because he had an unfortunate situation where he got shot. You know what I mean? When he was in Texas, when he was in Texas after what happened to Mo 3. Benny the Butcher, the same thing. He was in Texas as well. These guys, these entertainers, they've got shit to do with their life. Kodak Black right now is worth $100,000 every single day of the week. Major salute to Steve Will Do It. Steve actually bought Kodak Black a car. You got to see a little bit about of how Kodak is living, aside from what we've been seeing on his Instagram. We saw him and his friend who got hit as well, both on IG, spreading money, remaining positive, shit like that. But Steve Will Do It, took the cameras inside of Kodak Black's home. You saw Kodak in his bed. You saw him laid up. You saw how long it took him to get out of his room. If you guys missed the blog, go check it out, man. I'm Mike A.T. the movie star. Don't confuse me with Steve Will Do It. That's Steve Will Do It. So go check that shit out. Go check what Steve Will Do It is doing, man. And again, Steve Will Do It is not giving me any sort of endorsement either. But when I see an act of kindness like that, you can't let it go unnoticed. So the dude actually, Steve Will Do It, was saying, yo, this is somebody that I used to listen to when I was in high school. This is one of the high school artists that I admired. And it's just crazy that he's in a position now to actually put his favorite dunk. You know what I mean? It's crazy that he's able to put a dunk in his front lawn. You know what I mean? Right in front of his crib, and just blow his mind, So Kodak Black's whole situation got broken down a little bit by Wack 100. Wack 100 did say that in California, a group of people, addressed him. They came up to him. You know what I'm saying? They came up to him and they actually said, they had brought up what he said about Lauren London. They brought up what he actually said about Nipsey Hussle's ex, Lauren London, excuse me. Yo, Iceberg, we just getting into it right now, brother. We just really getting into it right now. We're talking about the whole shit with Kodak Black, brother. So, so Wack basically said that Kodak was there outside, and these guys approached him and they asked him about the Lauren London situation. And Kodak said that, Wack 100 said that Kodak took off on them. Not ran off, you guys. Took off, stalled off, attacked. You know what I'm saying? Like a super gremlin. You know what I mean? He was on his super gremlin shit. Mikey T, the superstar. YouTube gonna take me far. Kodak Black was on their asses, you guys. That's why we saw the video of Kodak running. I'm not sure if he jumped in between two cars. If he did, that shit would have been gangster. But he jumped over and he started attacking. Bang, bang. We heard some shots go off. I think it was more than two, so they say. And we saw Kodak sort of jolt back. You know what I mean? I'm thinking Kodak jolted back to flail away in case he was tangled up with anybody, because you're in the middle of something. Sometimes you're getting tangled up with people, because sometimes you're trying to rip somebody, grab somebody, pull some. You know what Kodak Black be doing, you guys. So I seen him jolt back, and it actually happened that he got grazed. He had actually said in the blog, I think he actually used the term grazed. He didn't say I got shot, he said that it hurt so bad you got grazed. You didn't say I got shot. He said he got grazed. So it obviously is a difference, but it's still affecting the way that he's moving around. Interesting to me, though, Kodak Black gets approached by these guys who come up to him talking about Lauren London. And another note I'll bring up after this about Kim Kardashian. But they bring up Lauren London, which I don't really understand it. It's like, like we're years past this situation. You know what I mean? Nipsey, like I'm just thinking about this in terms of like if it was me, and it was my wifey, and some of my boys were going up to a dude after I had passed on, going up to a dude and checking him about hitting on my wifey. A lot of my dudes, they're not familiar with my wifey like that. But you know what I'm saying? But I imagine Nipsey's situation was 100% different. Like because he would probably have a crib. His boys would come over. His girl would probably offer them something to drink, all types of shit. There was all that common ground. You know what I mean? So it might have been something different like that. I don't know who these dudes were that really approached Kodak like that, if they were really that close to Nipsey to really care that much about the fact that he said that about his girlfriend or his you know what I'm saying, of the love of his life, I should really be saying. Because yeah, it's a sticky situation, man. Or was it fans? Because like what Kodak Black is doing now, it's kind of similar. Kodak Black he just hit Kim Kardashian up. And this whole thing with Kanye West, Pete Davidson. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Pete Davidson has to be weary of Kodak Black of Kanye West fans." You know what I'm saying? You got to be weary of the Kanye West fans that are just crazy out there. So it's like sometimes that's what you got to be worried about. You got to worry about people who aren't even familiar with the situation. It's not like one of my best friends defending my honor. It's one of my best supporters, somebody who watches me every day on the internet, somebody who's bought all my albums and spent their life invested in what I do. Sometimes those people will want to take shit upon themselves. Like all those rumors that was just happening with NLE YoungBoy and NBA Choppas, NBA Choppas, NBA YoungBoy and NLE Choppas fans. What up, Caleb? What up, Caleb? Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you for tapping in. Agreed on all cylinders. Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Speak that shit into existence. That's what we do. That's what everybody does, man. You got to believe in your dream. You know what I'm saying? You got to believe in your dream until this shit is real. The situation is kind of crazy that Wack broke it down with Kodak like that. I'm not sure if Wack was on the scene. They say all types of people were there. They say Drake was there. They say my boy Leonardo DiCaprio was there. You know what I mean? That's not actually my boy, but you know what I'm saying? I think Rihanna had thought we were the same person at one time. But there was all types of celebrities there, so I thought it was kind of embarrassing for Kodak Black to get involved in a situation like that. Like to actually, and now to hear that Kodak Black actually was the one who jumped at the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude brought up something kind of like how Ebro and Rosenberg brought up his past case on their show, and he just kind of flipped the script on him, no pun intended. Shout out to my brother Flip the Script, who I have never actually met, but we share a common friend in Bangum Smurf. Flip, I think, actually reached out to Smurf at one point for me and tried to rekindle our relationship. So, when somebody does that for you, you send them a certain amount of courtesy and respect. So that's why you'll hear me showing him some on my channel. Free ARAB all day. Hell yeah, you already know that. Supreme is in the building. Supreme is in the building. You heard my brother Iceberg. That's the godfather of the chat. Rep Yo Hoods in the chat. Let me know what you're smoking. We got three. Well, I was just getting into the first topic, our intro topic, that Kodak Black shit. You know what I mean? Kodak is healing up right now, you guys. Back for Everything is out. His new album's out. So Kodak is pretty lit right now, you guys. It just sucks that he's not able to do everything he's wanting to do right now. You can obviously tell that. The man's laid up right now. Let me retract that statement. He is definitely doing everything he wants to do, but he can't do all the things that he needs to do to promote his album. Really, I'd imagine if he hadn't got involved in that situation out in LA, he'd either be in LA right now promoting the album, or he might be in New York promoting the album. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody tapping in with me, man. We was up late last night, but it was worth it. It was worth it last night because every day we get a little bit further with what we are doing here, man. Every single day we get a little bit further with what we're doing here, man. So Wack was actually on the Drink Champs episode, man. Wack was on the Drink Champs episode, and it was brought up by EFN that Wack 100 versus Meek Mill could be a celebrity boxing. So I'm going to bring it to the chat. I want to know in the chat who would win in celebrity boxing. I want to know, man, because the game actually gave his answer. The game actually gave his answer. It was funny as hell what the game said about who would win between Wack 100 and Meek Mill. Does anybody in the chat who watched Nori's interview? I know some 300,000-400,000 people already watched it. But who watched it? Who knew? Who knows what Game said about that whole situation? Because I thought it was funny. But, you know, that's not taking anything away from Wack's relationship with the Game. Because friends have to be able to joke with one another. Friends have to be able to, you know, put their friend in a headlock and give them a little noogie. Friends got to be able to bid or grind each other up a little bit. So when they actually got into it a little bit about that with the Game, saying that he thought Meek Mill would wash Wack 100, you know what I mean? Like, they were just having fun as friends. Now, does it matter who would win the fight? Does it matter to Meek Mill? Does it matter to Wack 100? Does it matter to the Game? You know what I mean? These are the guys that are, you know, intricately involved in this situation. Of course, it matters to all of us as the fans. We all make our predictions. We all give our thoughts. But what do the people think that are actually involved in this situation? If Meek Mill washes Wack 100, does the Game feel any less about Wack? I imagine the Game would even laugh at Wack 100 in the confidence of their own friendship. You know what I'm saying? They would, oh, Meek Mill washed you up, boy. You ain't going to be challenging nobody to know celebrity boxing no more. All types of shit like that could go on behind the scenes because of how close these guys are in their relationship. They can joke with one another. Now, if Wack 100 wins, I don't see it being the same in Meek Mill's camp. I don't see O'Malley joking with Meek Mill about Wack 100 having washed him up. Do you see the comparison that I'm trying to draw right there? Chase Moolah's in the building. Major salute. Capital third letter C. Appreciate you guys for tapping in, man. We got a couple dope topics tonight, man. Meek means easily imposed on. Oh, whoa. I wasn't looking for no definitions, my brother. Was not looking for no definitions. But my brother Jeremiah Kipp did make a movie before called Bless the Meek. Yes, so I have been familiar with that term meek for quite some time. Now, I never did, just to let you all know a little bit about me, I never did interview Meek Mill back in the day. Regrettably, I was never offered the opportunity to interview Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? Never got that opportunity. I did, however, get the opportunity to interview Lil Uzi Vert, actually meet Lil Uzi Vert but I did not take the trip to Philly to do that one. So that's an interview that I really regret not doing. If anybody out there asks, like, Mikey T, what's an interview that you regret not doing? That's one right there. You know, missing out on the interview with Little Uzi Vert, missing out on an interview with a rich homie Quan. These are a couple of things that I regret, you guys. Has it stopped me from continuing? Has it stopped me from having passion for what I do? Absolutely not, because you really can't live your life staring in the rear view mirror. You know what I mean? You know, we can glance back and see some of the mistakes that we never want to make again. You know, we can let some of that like dictate the way that our future is going to be, you know, but you don't really dwell on all that shit. But if anybody asks, like, yeah, I have made mistakes in this game. I have made moves that I think that could have gone better. If anybody really even wants to know that information, but we all got to get up. You know what I'm saying? Throw on our Tommy Hilfiger sweatshirt or whatever you're wearing. You know what I'm saying? And just keep on moving, man, and keep on progressing. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight, New York native, my guy, Beige Austin. I'm just gonna call you Austin, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Appreciate everybody for hitting that like button tonight. Appreciate everybody for hitting that like button and also sharing this video. You know, we got a dope live video tonight. I was just going over the Kodak Black situation. You know what I mean? Kodak Black, and it all kind of makes sense, you know, because from the video that I watched, it was like, why was Kodak doing all that when he had hired security? But it all makes sense because sometimes when an artist actually comes up to you, or not even an artist, sometimes when somebody from the streets, somebody from whoever, you know, somebody that's a fan of another artist comes up to you and they disrespect you and they say some shit, or if it's somebody that you have a past issue with, sometimes you're just gonna let all that emotion take over and you're just gonna run over there and attack. But you know what? It doesn't mean that person you attacked doesn't have the same type of security that you have. That's something that I try to stress drastically. You know what I mean? Like with the whole King Von and Quando Rondo situation, it's like, you know, you gotta realize, like, King Von needed to realize that there were people on Quando Rondo's team that looked at Quando the same way that some of the people looked on King Von on his team. You know, it's like that's the guy who's helping us so we never have to look back again. You know, that's the guy that's helping us so our family never has to worry again. You know, Quando Rondo's situation just kind of backfired. You know, Little Tim, that whole situation just kind of backfired. But this day and age, that situation doesn't really get you far. Like I was talking with AR Rab in my first interview with him. You know, I had brought it up how rappers would use going to jail as like a means of promotion. You know, they would get a little bit of buzz. They would get a little bit of they would get a little bit of you know, they would hype based on the fact that they were just coming to jail, based on the fact that they or had to serve a little time, that they were getting out. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, that whole jail shit hinders you. Ab explained to me even back then, going to jail destroyed his shit because Ab was about to get one of the hottest deals in the game, even if it wasn't with Drake, it would have been with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And that situation of getting locked up actually drastically hindered his career. So it's not like back in the day. You know what I mean? It's not like you go serve a little stint, you come home and you're gonna get a sales boost. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the same anymore because it's on to the next one. As much as we've heard that quote in the past, that quote is here today more than ever. On to the next, on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like so many different artists are blowing up one after the next. Listen to the artist that I was just talking about, Rich Homie Quan. Rich Homie Quan deviated from the plan. He was rocking with Young Thug and Birdman. They were a hit group. You know what I mean? That was probably some of the biggest shit Young Thugger ever did. Rich Homie Quan said, yo, I really should be focusing on my solo career. He deviated from the plan. His career's never been the same since. You know what I mean? Sometimes some shit like that happens, man, that just like totally makes your shit fall off. Damn, man, maybe I need a water. Hold up. Let me get a water real quick. I was just up so late last night that I was really just trying to drink like coffee, mad energy drinks today just to get back to like regular shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I really do appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. Really do appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. Now, Kodak Black, he got the major alley-oop. Kodak Black got the major alley-oop, you guys, because he was sentenced to 3.5 years. Kodak Black was sentenced to 3.5 years, but he actually got to come home in half that time. So he really got the major alley-oop. He's releasing an album. He's making money. He's spending money. But listen, I want everybody to vote in the poll because this is one of our major topics tonight. Who would win in celebrity boxing? Who would win in celebrity boxing, you guys? Wack 100. To my right, we have standing at a mere 5'8", Wack 100. And in the left corner, at a staggering 6'4", he is a dream chaser. You know what I'm saying? Like Meek Mill. What type of fight are we going to see between these guys, man? Because the height is a little bit off. You know what I mean? The height's a little bit off. The age is certainly off. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be a 3-rounder? You know what I mean? Like they're not going Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather time. You know what I mean? That's not happening. Is Wack 100 really going to be able to endure? Like one of the guys in the chat said, we seen Meek Mill on that punching bag. Everybody vote. Everybody vote in the poll right now. I want to know what everyone thinks because Wack 100 is leading right now, you guys. Wack 100 is leading in the poll right now, you guys. Wack 100 is leading, so that's why I need everybody to vote in this poll. But let's get into it, man. I want to read this message that DaBaby said, man. What's going on, DJ Science? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. You already know James Brown. We staying on the grind on this side all the time, brother. I just actually got the opportunity. Freeway logged into the channel last night. So I'm going to put that up, actually. I'm going to pin that up for everybody who did not see it yet because Freeway tapped in. So that means, you know, anybody and everybody could be watching this show, you guys. So that's why I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in every night. Y'all really keep me going with this shit. I'm on my way to doing this Adam 22, Academics, Hassan Campbell, Doggy Diamond shit, you guys. And, you know, you guys show me that y'all tuning in. It really keeps me going. It shows me that there's a reason to keep on doing this on the real. So hit that poll right now. I want to know, what do y'all think if we could potentially get a celebrity boxing match? And, you know, when it comes to celebrity boxing, age isn't really the biggest thing. I mean, we saw Tyson step back up, you know what I mean? But that was more of a, you know, sparring, you know, that was more sparring. But, you know, when it comes to this celebrity boxing, age and weight is not really the determining factor. We was speaking about it, like 50 Cent had said he wouldn't fight Floyd because of the weight. He didn't think Floyd would fight him because of the weight. Logan Paul, arguably same size as 50 Cent, you know. Logan Paul's right there at the 200-pound mark. But I'm going to put it up, man. Everybody that wants to check it out, this is a little preview of the Freeway interview that's to come. Freeway said that he would jump on the channel and actually come and have an in-depth talk with us, which I really appreciate because, there's all types of shit that we can talk with Free about. You know what I mean? Even what Av had to say about his album, really a similar thing to what Twiz had to say about his album last night. Freeway came on and said that it was actually the 19th anniversary of the Philadelphia Freeway album. How about that, you guys? The 19th year. And now this year, what we do, playing on Bel-Air. And just so you guys know, I have an exclusive interview. Dropping with one of the actors from the Bel-Air show. That's right, you guys. I have an exclusive interview dropping with this man.
Yo, it's Easy the Block Captain. Like to give a shout out to Mikey T, the movie star, Gutter City, Philly shit, man, Mr. Himothy. Yo.
That's right, you guys. Easy the Block Captain, exclusive interview dropping tomorrow. That's right, you guys. Easy the Block Captain, exclusive
Block
interview.
Captain. Like to give a shout out to Mikey T, the movie star, Gutter City, Philly shit. And like to give Yo, it's Easy the Block Captain. Like to give a shout out to Mikey T, the movie star, Gutter City, Philly shit, man, Mr. Himothy.
So I'm dropping the full interview with Easy the Block Captain tomorrow. We speak on the battling. We speak on how we got into the game. We speak on the show Bel-Air. We're speaking on everything, you guys. So I hope you all tune in for that, man. But let's get back to the news, man. Just wanted to speak on that for a second. Yup. Okay, Alex, because I was wondering if Freeway was playing himself or if he was playing the basketball coach. How many scenes? He was only in the one scene, right? I thought that was awesome how they open up the wake up scene. You know what I'm saying? The scene that started with Will Smith waking up, the Will Smith character played by Jabari Banks. Easy the Block Captain actually spoke on working with Jabari Banks as well. You know what I mean? The music, What We Do, started that off. And you just got like the whole vibe of how like a Philly cat would wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? And it just took me back to when I would wake up in the morning getting ready for school. You got MTV on and shit like that. The music videos playing and shit. It really took me back, you guys. It really took me back just hearing all that. Not saying I was the one waking up to What We Do, because we all woke up to our themes. You know what I mean? We all woke up to our theme music. So that really gave me an idea of what it was like to be, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It took me in a little bit deeper than the old show did back in the day, because you know how the show would start. It was something that, well, born and raised, where I spend most of my days, chilling out and relaxing, all cool, and I'm shooting on b-ball outside of school with a couple of guys who were up to no good. Starting problems in my neighborhood. Yeah, I was trying to get that vibe back in my head. That Bel-Air show is legendary. We had shows that mimicked out lives. Yeah, Bel-Air is a great show, man. I'm going to talk Magic Empire. I'm going to talk to SV Twiz about that. You say Snake Eyes and Stumbles. All right. DJ Science, King of the DJs. Salute Mikey T. Can I get a birthday shout out? And my sister just had a baby girl who was born yesterday. So I got a brilliant birthday present, a beautiful niece. Hell yeah, man. That's amazing, bro. I'm glad you got a great birthday present. Sounds like an amazing blessing to the family, man. Happy birthday and congratulations. Happy birthday and congratulations, man, to your family for the new addition. It's amazing. James Brown said, keeping it hip hop, man. This is what it's all about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got to say, I didn't expect that. All the use of the current music. I didn't expect to see, you guys got to check out the show Bel-Air. I didn't expect to see them winning the game and then back in their locker room. Hold up, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just turning up like that. Like I was remember being back in Story or Mansion or Cameo. Like, I didn't know the basketball players turned up like that, like that. You know what I'm saying? And then you get a whole like 180. You get a whole 180 when you go in and you see what Carlton is doing when they're, I think it's lacrosse. You know what I'm saying? And they're all playing lacrosse, and then they're all in their locker room and shit like that. I never had that experience with either locker room though, you guys. Never played basketball, never played lacrosse. I played a little bit of football, you know what I'm saying? But we didn't have locker rooms in Pop Warner. It wasn't really a thing like that. Take Car, you got to check it out. Take Car says, I'm from Philly and haven't even checked the Joan yet. Does anybody on the original show play in the Joan? Nobody that I have seen yet actually plays from the original. But the thing is, they do have all the characters' names, and they have changed the stories a little bit. Like you got Jazz in there, and he's acting with Hillary. You got Uncle Banks. You got Philip Banks in there. You know what I'm saying? And you see the dynamic of his relationship with Phil, with Will and Phil. You see the dynamic of their relationship that we played out later on. You know, when they would get really emotional talking about like the fact that Will never knew his father like that. You know, they would always get real emotional together. You see a crazy new dynamic play out with the characters of Carlton. You know what I mean? Ashley, you know, something that's more present day themed with Ashley. You get to see Viv, who apparently was an artist. I couldn't really remember that from the show, but they dig into how a wife actually gets out of her element when she goes on to become a wife. You know, she goes from being that artistic girl who wants to thrive in the world to becoming a housewife, to raising children, and how that takes some of the drive out of accomplishing all those goals to having a new drive to raising those children, and you know, and helping them envision a bunch of goals. It takes on some dope ass real life topics, man. Exactly. Jeffrey's in it. You got Jeffrey, and instead of being the butler, he's actually the guy that makes sure all of the kids, all of the household functions are being run properly. I guess if they're having a party, I guess if some of the kids need to be places at certain times, he keeps people like Ashley got lost or not got lost, but you know how Ashley was. She'd be wandering around and shit. Jeffrey is on her ass. You know what I'm saying? It's just some interesting stuff, man. I think everybody should check out the Bel-Air show, and I really thought it was dope that I got a chance to interview Easy the Block Captain, who actually plays the villain Rashad, the one who chased Will Smith out of Philly. And you know, we really didn't get to see much of that story play out. You know what I mean? Especially with the words and the dialogue that they're using. You know what I mean? In this new series, like just because of the way that it was shot in the 90s, you know what I mean? They weren't doing it like that. It was light-hearted in the 90s. This shit is more impactful to the soul. You know what I mean? That shit's like, damn. That shit's just like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, I will say, Jabari Banks playing Will Smith, he really did the cockiness well. He does that shit well because that's one of the things I remember about Will Smith's character back in the day. He was cocky as hell. And also the inside out blazer. You guys will see that explained as well. But let's move on from there, man. Hit the like if you guys want to see Mikey do the Carlton dance. No, whoa! No, bro. You better hit that. You better if you want to see me do the Carlton dance, it's unbelievable. What was that song? Be loved by anyone. If you guys want to see me do the Carlton dance, you're gonna need to send in a super chat, man. You're gonna need to send in a super chat if you want me to do the Carlton dance. I'm not even sure I can do that dance, man. Major salute. Take car. Appreciate you for tapping in. Definitely appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight, man. So, Nori brought up the Meek Mill beef with Wack 100. And DJ Effin is the one who actually brought it to the terms of a celebrity boxing. And we're going to talk about that in the main event. But now we got to get into this story of DaBaby actually calling out OTF. DaBaby calling out OTF. I think MEMO600 had actually posted a message on his Instagram or something like that, maybe his Twitter. Memo had said, "Can't blame DaBaby. He thought that man was gonna save his career." Now I'm wondering why is MEMO600 saying can't blame DaBaby? That man thought he was gonna save his career. Now that runs in right to the thoughts that I'm thinking, you guys. It runs into the thoughts of DaBaby knows NBA YoungBoy's sales history. He knows his proven sales history. He knows what he does. Anybody in their right mind would have thought this album would actually be a major success with all the traction, with all the buzz that these two guys have on the internet. But the only thing about that is, you guys, DaBaby lost a lot of his buzz a few months back when he made that comment that really offended a considerable portion of his fan base. You know what I mean? A considerable portion of NBA YoungBoy's fan base is of the alternative. You know what I mean? He has fans from any walks of life, I'll say. DaBaby has fans from every single walk of life. People want to jump. They're playing NBA YoungBoy's music in every type of club. Now they're not. If he wants to go online and say some crazy ass shit that really isn't even true, you know what I mean? That a lot of people called what he said was ignorant. You know what I mean? If he wants to go and, just because of a lack of education, just to be 100% honest, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the times back in the day, people would talk like that. And it's like there's a thing now. It's called cancel culture. You know what I mean? If you go too far crazy with it, if you guys go too far crazy with it, you're going to get canceled. You know what I mean? That's why you got in this day and age, you really got to watch what you say. You can look at it in MEMO600 situation, bringing up the fact that Chief Keef ran when they were in a car together. That's a different form of cancel culture. That's Chief Keef's fans cancel you. You mess with Beyonce or Nicki, that's another form of cancel culture. But if you mess with a whole group of people, if you mess with a whole orientation of people, you know what I mean? Somebody that has a different sexual preference than you're barking up the wrong tree, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a consideration for what you're saying when you're on a major platform, you guys. Let's get into this message from DaBaby here. Shit like that makes me learn, though. I ain't gonna lie, because I know the position that I'm in right now. And I know when you're standing there talking in front of, and millions of people are watching you, you can't say the same things that you're saying, that you can't be the uncensored version. And that's why I'm jumping on Clubhouse and shit like that. So I can really just talk whatever type of shit that I want to talk. So if you're on Clubhouse, follow me. It's Mikey T Movie Star. There's no it's just Mikey T Movie Star. I get uncensored as hell on Clubhouse, but here you got to remain politically correct. DaBaby, in DaBaby's situation, DaBaby needed to remain politically correct at all times. He had just come up from an artist that was shopping at Walmart and getting into fights to an artist that would never have to step in a Walmart again in his life. He was just, somebody needs to write that down as a bar. DaBaby was just shopping in Walmart and getting into fights. Now he's so rich, he'll never step in a Walmart again in his life. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's why MEMO600 is saying you can't blame DaBaby. He thought that man was going to save his career. He thought that man was going to rejuvenate his career. And I'm not trying to take any shots at DaBaby here. I'm just, as they say, calling a spade a spade. You know what I mean? I'm just calling a spade in this situation. Let me take a look at the poll. And when I say I'm calling a spade, I think he was doing the exact same thing by working with NBA YoungBoy. I think he was trying to rejuvenate his career. He knows what he did was messed up. Um, he knows he still has a considerable fan base. I mean, he obviously has more of a fan base than when he was doing the whole what was it called? The Big Baby Jesus? No, that's Old Dirty Bastard song. The Jesus Baby or something like that, the Big Baby Jesus album. When he was doing that, it really wasn't, cutting it. So he knows now, even with all that controversy that he got himself in. Appreciate you tapping in, Mike. He knows even now that with all that controversy that he got himself in, he still has a bigger fan base than he ever had. He's still making more money than he ever did back then. Not more money than he ever did, period. But back then, most definitely, because back then he wasn't really making as much money. You know what I mean? He was spending money to become the guy that he currently is. He was actually buying some dope features and coming off looking great on them. Yeah, Martin pointing out, or he made a decision to deal with YB's camp versus OTF because of the behind the scenes politics. And you know what goes along with that, Martin? The fact that NBA YoungBoy just took shots at 4PF as well, 4 pockets full. You know what I mean? 4 poles firing. He was taking shots at Lil Baby's crew and had DaBaby and Lil Baby already released a joint project, or did that get nixed? Iceberg, are you familiar? Does anybody know? But I would say now that he's working with NBA YoungBoy, and YoungBoy clearly took shots at, you know what I mean? Clearly, NBA YoungBoy clearly took shots at Lil Baby. That's not only going to deteriorate DaBaby's relationship with OTF, but it will screw up his relationship with Lil Baby, with QC, everybody over there. Shit. NBA YoungBoy just did the Migos last single. What is this guy thinking? Oh, I know what he's thinking. He's thinking I sell records on my own and I don't need anybody else. Or is it all coming to an end now because of what he's doing? I mean, shit, if NBA YoungBoy sells records on his own and he doesn't need anybody else, why is this album only projected to do 25 to 30,000 units? It could be, if you want an answer, it could be the fact that NBA YoungBoy he released an album at the end of September. He released an album 2022, January 29th, 2022. And he also is releasing an album now. That's 3 albums within 9 months. Like, come on, man. You might be polluting your fan base. You might be overdoing it when it comes to music releases. Do you guys think that? DaBaby and YB have one thing in common. They don't let anyone silence them. Yeah, but Martin, sometimes you need to know when to shut your mouth, man. Sometimes you need to, like, he didn't need to say all that shit at the end of that show, and he wouldn't have caught as much flack and been facing all the, politics of the cancel culture. Everyone's trying to act like DaBaby isn't a good dude. You know what I mean? DaBaby is more than a good dude. This is the type of guy that if he sees somebody out there like Boxy had told me this story about Ja Rule one time. Boxy said that he had some bud, and Ja Rule was like, "How much bud do you got on you?" And Boxy was like, "I got like $200 worth of bud on me." And Ja Rule was like, "All right, give me all the bud. I'm buying you out. I'm buying you out so you don't have to sell no more bud that day." Now, that doesn't really sound like that much of a buyout. I mean, anybody who gets bought out for $200 worth of bud, you're pretty much just going back to buy more bud right after that. So I don't really know how much, and now thinking back on that story, but DaBaby's that type of dude. We've seen him do it in the past. He has gone out to kids and given them money. Like one dude, he bought a $5 radio for $100. He was trying to buy these kids push pops, but they were trying to overcharge him. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to overcharge him. He was trying to buy like $75 worth of push pops from them, or Skittles, whatever the hell that was. And they were like, "Nah, I'm gonna make $200 off this box." And he's like, bro, you're not going to make $200 off that box. The maximum you can make off that box is like $80. And I was going to give you $100 per box. So you just screwed yourself, man. It's all good, Finch, man. I appreciate you tapping in regardless. Hit that like button, man. Carlitos Way Live tapped in. He said, why do you think DaBaby is flopping? He is doing good. Well, DaBaby is doing good. DaBaby is doing good compared to how he was doing before he ever had any notoriety. DaBaby is not doing as good as he was doing a year and a half ago. DaBaby is not doing as good as that. He's alienated a big group of his fan base. He has, all right, I know which way to put it. DaBaby has alienated his Lil Nas X fan base. Like, that was messed up because all of the Lil Nas X fan base wanted to dance to DaBaby. They wanted to have DaBaby come and perform at all their shows. DaBaby had crossed over. Suge crossed over. But he ruined it for himself. How? Sometimes a rapper opening his mouth will ruin everything for them. It's kind of like professional wrestling. If a guy can't cut a promo, he could ruin everything for himself. So that guy, they give him a manager. Brock Lesnar, they give him Paul Heyman. You know what I'm saying? You get a mouthpiece, somebody to lead you through discussion. Now, when people get a live mic, they end up saying crazy things on the air. And we've seen it happen a dozen times. We saw it happen with Lil Baby. And they really have been trying to flush his career down the drain since it happened. Yeah, it did. Now, capital third letter. Undoubtedly, DaBaby is still making more money than he ever made back before, when he was trying to come up in the game. But he is without a doubt realizing what has happened. And I can't really go against Memo here for saying, can't blame DaBaby. He thought that man was going to save his career. He thought NBA YoungBoy. I would love to do an album with NBA YoungBoy. You do an album with NBA YoungBoy, you're supposed to be the hottest thing smoking. Only thing is, NBA YoungBoy's already released 2 albums in the last 7 months. NBA YoungBoy's albums aren't the hottest product on the street right now. They are there's a bunch of it out there. You know what I mean? It's out there. It's not hard to find. It's not what's the word I'm looking for, you guys? You know what I mean? It's not that it's not exotic. You know what I mean? Because NBA YoungBoy has that work, but it's there. You know what I mean? It's not something that it's not coming in slow enough doses. I can't find the word that I'm really trying to say, but honestly, man, NBA YoungBoy has been, there it is, oversaturating himself. He's been oversaturating himself a little bit, you guys. So the record sales, which I see, I think Academics posted up the projections. Let me see if I can find the projections here. We need to do a show just about album projections and album sales weekly. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit we need to do. When I get a more official situation with a whole studio set up, with a whole backer and all that, I will do news like that. But until then, we in the trenches, baby. And I love it in the trenches. So, Academics actually posted DaBaby and NBA YoungBoy Better Than You. Interesting album title. Better Than You. I mean, I can't say I would be rushing to the store to buy an album. If I would have told my mom when I was like 11 years old, 12 years old, that I was going to spend my $20 or whatever an album cost back then on an album called Better Than You, she probably would have asked me what the hell was wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that album title's not really doing it for me, man. Better Than You. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're thinking about a collaboration with NBA YoungBoy and DaBaby, like this is supposed to be the two hottest dudes in the industry right here. You know what I mean? You got this one gutter ass dude who you can barely understand what the hell he's saying, but you know it's gangster as hell. And then you got this other dude who had just blown up to the point where he'd be wearing the most colorful shit and you knew he was a gangster. You know what I'm saying? So these two meshing, it was really supposed to be a great collaboration. But the fact that it's on pace to sell 30K first week, and I'm saying there could be a little bit of a boost there. There could be a boost, you know what I mean? That could jolt up to 40,000 sold first week, and I hope it does. But whatever, that is a underperformance for an album of the stature of these two guys. You know, NBA YoungBoy might go back on that Screw Atlantic shit after this, saying, "Oh, they're not promoting it. They're not promoting it." Well, NBA YoungBoy, you kind of just did an album with somebody that is in the middle of facing a huge blackballing episode. So for you to like try to keep making this claim of the blame being about someone getting blackballed, it's like you just went out of your way to work with somebody that is currently being blackballed. So that really doesn't, that excuse isn't going to be justified here. Joey says DaBaby is in his feelings. He's just a bully. He picks his fight, and Lil Durk is the best in the game. Been the best in the game. Lil Durk is the best, and King Von. Rest in peace to King Von. Yeah, they were saying that King Von's album, his first album, his sophomore album, but the first album after his passing, is on pace to move 65,000. So doubling that of this album. And who knows, maybe that could have been an issue with some of the sales, but you know, that I don't really see that being the case, to be honest with you guys. I don't really think that's the case in this situation. I don't think that uh people would have really only bought one of the albums. I think people would have bought both albums. But right now, DaBaby's fan base obviously isn't coming out for him. A lot of DaBaby's fan base has turned their back on him. And I don't really want to get into like what the majority of his fan base is. You know what I mean? Because I did like DaBaby's music. I mean, I wasn't like bumping it repetitively. You know what I mean? I wasn't up, doing the chimichanga to DaBaby's music. You know what I mean? Like some of these dudes are. I mean, they be doing the Carlton dance to DaBaby's music. His shit caught on that much. Nah, bro, Gotti, you are incorrect, my brother. My brother, Gotti. Sincerely Contrell did 136,000 first week, and that was in September of 2021. Colors dropped the end of January, the 29th, I believe, and it moved 69,000 units first week. Now we've got Better Than You out, and it's doing about 30,000 first week. So I've been saying these sales for the last few weeks. Anybody that logs in pretty much has heard me saying it over and over and over again. But Gotti, man, you need to tune in, hit that subscribe button, and also the notification so you can be brought in here when we do live videos. Definitely enjoy you bringing conversation to the table, bro. Ooh, that is another point. Joey, thank you for bringing that up, man, because I didn't want to not really touch on that because that's a factor, man. Joey says when YoungBoy dissed King Von, I knew his album or mixtape would be a dub or a casket or a box. So yeah, this is the same thing that happened to. This is the same thing that actually happened to Quando Rondo, you guys. This is the same thing that happened to Quando Rondo. The same thing that actually happened to Troy Ave, too. It's called the backlash. It's called the backlash effect. Maybe I'm making that name up myself. Yeah, Brick. Brick! Dude's albums, Quando Rondo has been bricking ever since the situation with King Von. Why? Because the fans were turned off by that. That was some of the most distasteful shit you could do as an artist. Quando Rondo kept doing shows and kept trying to attempt to release music after the passing of King Von. He didn't even give any type of grace period. And I really think it turned the fans off. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Sometimes a whole group of fans will be like, man, this dude, like a lot of times when some people do some crazy ass sinister shit, people will be like, yo, you is crazy. I want no parts of what you're doing, man. I'm gonna distance myself. I'm not even gonna stream your music no more. I don't want my kids hearing that. I don't want my girlfriend hearing that. I don't want my brothers hearing that I'm listening to that shit. You know, sometimes people will feel that way. I'm just giving you the perception of many different people. Gotti says YB is going to do 200K on his next album. Watch. Well, they say that Colors was more of a mixtape project. They say that Colors was more of a mixtape project. And the Sincerely Contrell actually did quite a few sold first week while he was locked up. So we'll see what happens. Now, I heard that YoungBoy was going to be releasing an album either at the end of summer or in the summer, but I've heard rumors that NBA YoungBoy actually could be releasing another solo album before that. We'll have to keep our ears to it, man. I think it's coming a little bit later. I think this was the album, the DaBaby and YoungBoy album is what I had heard rumors of now. Respect to East London. Oh shit, yeah, King Von is loved in East London. Did King Von ever get to make it out to the United Kingdom, Joey? Like I said before, King Von came over to Connecticut with Lil Durk when they were doing shows, and Lil Durk actually let King Von rock the stage. But we're about to get into this message now that DaBaby put up, you guys. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. So I read the message from Memo saying that DaBaby thought NBA YoungBoy was going to save his career. I got into the issue of, academics saying the album's actually about the tank. Better Than You is about to do 30K first week. We'll have to let you know the official sales. I think it'll be more around 40K. Unless it has a major boost, it makes it up to 50,000. But now let's read this message that DaBaby actually posted on his Instagram. Wow, this is a vicious message. DaBaby said, y'all towel boy ass dudes, funny as hell. Y'all on the internet playing, trying to run your stripes up while your big dog in my DM waving the white flag. What? NBA YoungBoy just called MEMO600 a towel boy? He called MEMO600. That's like when Fredro Starr told me that he sent 50 Cent to go get Phillies for him. You know what I mean? At the store, when they was in the studio, they would send 50 Cent to go get Phillies for him and shit. So you're telling me that MEMO600 is the guy who Lil Durk says, hey, man, could you go pick me up some extra towels? No. Better yet, when they're at a hotel, Lil Durk will call to me, rather than call the front desk, Lil Durk will call MEMO600 and say, hey, bro, I need some towels. I need a few more towels. Can you give me 3 or 4 towels? So he said, y'all towel boy ass dudes, funny as hell. Y'all on the internet playing, trying to run your stripes up. Y'all big dog in my DM waving the white flag. Wow. Lil Durk. He's saying Lil Durk hit him up on his DMs. Y'all dudes must not be on the same page over there at OTF. But check this out. It ain't a gang, city, or neighborhood in the world scary enough to make baby pick and choose who to get money with. I ain't one of them. Wow. DaBaby insinuating that he actually had to pick and choose sides in this whole situation. Like back in the day when everybody made everyone choose between 50 Cent and Ja Rule. Like back in the day when but DaBaby ain't going for that. DaBaby is not going for that. If you guys haven't voted in the chat, I want you to vote right now. The question is, who would win in celebrity boxing? Who would win in celebrity boxing, you guys? Meek Mill or Wack 100? I want to know. I want to know what you guys think. Please vote in the chat if you hadn't. We got 84 votes, so keep on voting. What is this? Iceberg said, go get my, oh my God, come on. Everybody vote in the chat right now. Everybody vote in the chat right now. Need everybody to vote in the chat. Everybody to show some love. We're about to finish out this message. Just give me 1 second. Dude obviously doesn't know what a YouTube channel is. Excuse him, y'all. Hold on, let me see what my man Joe is saying here. Let me see what my man Joe is saying here. I love reading everybody's comments, man. I love seeing what everybody got to say. Definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you like this video. Hell yeah. But yeah, let's get back into it. Sorry about that, you guys. Iceberg says, go get my Dutches. Cool. Oh, this is a list. This is like when you send somebody for a list. I don't know if honestly this is what Lil Durk and MEMO600's relationship was. I'm not too sure about that, you guys. But Iceberg says, go get my Dutches, my Cool Ranch Doritos, my Twix bar, and don't forget my Fruit Punch Snapple. And I want my change back. Yo, that's brutal when they be hitting you for the change back at the end. Like, that shit is brutal. I really don't mess with that, man. Like, I remember all the time when Scott Storch would send me out to get weed. You know what I mean? Storch would give me like $200 to go get a half ounce of weed. He wouldn't be asking me for the change back afterwards. When Storch would be like, yo, Mikey, go get me a half ounce. He wouldn't be asking me from the change back. He wouldn't be asking how much the half ounce of weed was. So come on, man. How you sending me out to go get your Doritos and I can't even get a pack of my own, what's the joints that I can't even get the salt and vinegar joints that I like. I can get Doritos, but I can't get the salt and vinegar joints that I like because you want that $3 back in I get it, man. Lord Leaf, appreciate you for tapping in, man. Twiz will be back. Twiz will be back this weekend on the show, man. You know, we just got a little bit of news we got to go over tonight. Real shit. Real shit, man. So let's get back into this DaBaby. Let's get back into this post from DaBaby, y'all. DaBaby pretty much is going in. He's not letting anything slide on this, man. He's not scared to mention anybody by the name. Like, look at this. He already mentioned OTF. He said, y'all dudes must not be on the same page over there at OTF. But check this out. It ain't a gang, city, or neighborhood in the world scary enough to make baby pick and choose where and who to get money with. I ain't one of them. I respect that, man. I got to say, I respect that because back in the day coming up, there was so many people who didn't want to mess with me because of the fact that I was messing with Bang'em Smurf. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "Oh man, but what's 50 Cent gonna think? But what is 50 Cent gonna think?" Fast forward 20 years later. Fast forward 20 years later, what does 50 Cent think about you guys now that you all never started your label? What does 50 Cent think about you now that you guys never placed any records? You guys never got any features from Lloyd Banks or Tony Yayo? None of that shit happened. Everybody was worried about the wrong things back in the day. You can't be worried about what another man is going to think about what you're doing in this life. Man, woman, any of that shit. Unless that man and woman is your father and your mother. Hell yeah, you already know Storch stories for days, bro. Storch stories for days. So let's go into it, man. He said, you don't like it? Do something. I played it cool because y'all want to make it about y'all, partner. And I don't speak on the dead because I'm on it for real, for real. Every day I wake up ready to teach me a dude like you. So long live him at King Von. Got my respect. He stood on business. No excuses. It was just another dude there ready to stand on business too. DaBaby basically referring to the fact of what I was talking about earlier. You know, talking about the fact that Quando Rondo had people behind him the same way that King Von had people around him. You know what I mean? This everybody everybody has their best intentions of their career at their heart. You know what I mean? These dudes ain't gonna let people just run over their friends. They're not gonna let them. I'll say their friends. You could say the breadwinners. You could say whatever you want. They're just not gonna let it happen. Let me see. Where does he go on from here? That's how we living. That's what's gangsta is, ain't it? But the rest of you hoe-ass internet dudes trying to be cool off another dude's name is some hoes. We are not the same, my boy. Ask yo big dog. Now go call some real gangsters to step up for your pussy. I'm going to be right here waiting, ready to rock out. Hashtag faux shit. Wow, DaBaby really goes in right there. Basically said OTF has no interior design. You know what I mean? Basically said OTF does not have it together outside of what we see on the internet. But you know what? That's pretty clear. You know what I mean? That's pretty clear. I think DaBaby is calling that spot on. I'm not really sure of MEMO600's affiliation with OTF right now. I don't know if Lil Durk signed him back. I don't think that would be the best business move for Lil Durk, especially after what MEMO600 just did, running his mouth off on Chief Keef. You know what I mean? If Lil Durk ever expects to have that relationship back with Chief Keef, I don't think working with MEMO600 is really going to do that any favors. But again, Lil Durk is going to do what he finds to be best as a businessman. Like I said, he is the only one out of a lot of these guys that has actually pushed an artist. I mean, DaBaby, who I did not mention earlier, has actually had an artist, Stunner for Vegas. You know, you can't discount that. Stunner for Vegas actually took off in quite a little bit of time, you know, similar to Young Dolph and Key Glock. Rest in peace to the brother Young Dolph. I saw Key Glock was talking about he was interested in doing movies or something like that. Key Glock, please stick to the music, brother. We need you, man. Need that next Dumb and Dumber project or however you're going to continue on with your career. Movies, though, you know what I'm saying? Movies, we'll have to wait and see, man. But we need that Key Glock music, bro. That's all I'm gonna say right now. Dolph. Let me have a little smoke, you guys, on that note. Let me have a little smoke for my brother, Young Dolph. First rapper to let me stand on a stage with him. Young Dolph was the first rapper to let me stand on a stage with him while he was performing and shit. Prophecy says, Mikey, these dudes picking sides. Above all that, some publicity stunt. Well, you know, DaBaby, that's why he's going off here, Prophecy, because of the fact that they're trying to make him pick sides, obviously. You know what I mean? But, you know, how are you going to choose the side against somebody that you just completed an album with? You know, that would just be completely bad business. That would be like shooting yourself in the foot. You know what I mean? You're going to go and disassociate yourself with someone that you actually just completed a full project with. So no, DaBaby's not going to be stupid. He's going to keep his relationships. Just because someone doesn't get along with someone else, he's not going to, you know, cut off that person. That's actually some grown man shit. At the end of the day, that's some really grown man shit from DaBaby. Now, whatever Lil Durk is hitting his DM and saying, you know what I mean? Whatever he's hitting his DM and saying to get DaBaby to say that he's waving the right flag. Maybe it's really Memo just taking these shots that's making DaBaby want to bring up the fact that Lil Durk had actually hit him up. I really can't call it. You know what I mean? I really am kind of surprised at it that he's calling out Lil Durk's whole label. I really feel like that leaves Lil Durk with no other option but to respond, you know? And we just saw Durk respond to NBA YoungBoy. So is he really going to respond to DaBaby now? Is he even going to, maybe he'll respond to the sales. I could see Durk responding to the sales, maybe. Say something like, you messed up your whole career talking on some stupid shit. Can't make no hit record now. Before you was a walking hit. So yeah, because that's kind of what it's like for DaBaby right now. You know what I mean? DaBaby was a walking hit. He was a walking sensation. You know what I mean? But now nobody really wants to, not nobody, you guys, but half of the people want to walk by him. You know what I mean? Or a quarter less of the people want to walk by him. And whatever amount that is, it's a significant portion, because that was the portion that was adding that extra light to him, that was making us say, damn, DaBaby done got everybody's attention. He lost their attention now. He lost their shine, so we don't see him as bright anymore. But yeah, it's just crazy to see right here in this message. So it goes from Memo leaving a message, academics talking about the sales, DaBaby leaves a 3, 4, 5 paragraph return message. DaBaby don't play around. Next, I'm gonna have to say Lil Durk will be responding to this, you guys. I think Lil Durk will more than likely be responding to this next, you guys. Let me see. Have everybody voted in the poll? How's our poll looking, you guys? We have 99 votes in the poll. Who is going to be the 100th person to vote in the poll, you guys? Who would win? Who would win in celebrity boxing? Celebrity boxing, you guys. Who do y'all got? Meek Mill or Wack 100? I want to know. Wow, you guys, it looks like Wack 100 has won the poll. Wack 100 has won the poll. In my live, yeah, we just read it, bro. In my live, they actually say Meek Mill 40%, Wack 100 60%. Last minute before I put up a new poll, you guys. This is the last minute before I put up a new poll that you all have to vote. If anybody didn't vote, you guys can vote right now. Who would win in celebrity boxing? Meek Mill or Wack 100? It was suggested by DJ EFN after Wack said, listen, it's not beef with Meek. Why is everybody getting beef confused with a squabble? Why is everybody getting beef confused with a squabble? You know what I'm saying? And why is everybody getting beef confused with a celebrity boxing fight? Run that back, Mikey. That one is rigged. All right, you guys. We got 104 votes. J-Rock says Wack, duh. I'm going to put up a new poll. I got a new poll for you guys. I want everybody to vote in this new poll. I'm putting it up right now, y'all. Everybody hit that like button if you haven't already. Show some love, man. Let me know that you support the channel. Big shit be happening on this channel. Last night we had Freeway pop in on us. You never know who could pop in on that chat. Freeway just started chatting with y'all in the live, man. But let's get to the next poll. I want to know simply, who do y'all got? It's a simple question for this next poll, you guys. Oh, shit. Let me plug this shit in real quick. Excuse me, you guys. Just plug it in my other computer. You know how I do, man. I got my shit professional over here. We got one computer, two computers. If I need to promote on the phone, we got the joint right here. So we Gucci on this end. Just so everybody knows who's trying to come and contact Mikey T, the movie star. We got everything sound on this end. So when you want to take us to the next level, we ready. Putting it up right now. I'm asking the community right now. I want to know, y'all. Who are y'all sliding with? Who y'all riding for? In the chat, put it up right now in the poll. Who y'all riding with? Are you riding with DaBaby or are you riding with Lil Durk? I want to know right now, just for my guy who just logged in. I'm going to read that message one more time. DaBaby had posted on his Instagram. He said, y'all towel boy ass dudes, funny as hell. Y'all on the internet playing, trying to run your stripes up while your big dog is in my DM waving the white flag. DaBaby insinuating Lil Durk, MEMO600's big homie, in his DMs. You know, doing that little white flag emoji. You know, I think if you just type in white flag, a white flag will pop up or something like that. So allegedly, Lil Durk is copping please. You know what I mean? And industry to industry, you know what I mean? I could really expect Durk to be like, listen, man, it doesn't need to go any further. So Baby continued on. Y'all dudes must not be on the same page over there at OTF. Calling out his label, man. Calling out OTF. But check this out. It ain't a gang, city, or neighborhood in the world scary enough to make DaBaby pick and choose who to get money with. And I ain't one of them. You dudes don't like it, do something. I played it cool because y'all want to make it about y'all partner. And I don't speak on the dead because I'm on it for real, for real. Every day I wake up ready. So long live him at King Von. Got my respect. He stood on business. No excuses. It was just another dude there ready to stand on business too. That's how we living. That's what gangsta is, ain't it? But the rest of you hoe-ass internet dudes trying to be cool off another dude's name is some hoes. don't really know who he's talking about in regard to that, because it's NBA YoungBoy and it's Quando mentioning King Von. So I really don't know if in the chat, is there anybody else who's really mentioning it? I don't think he could be talking about Lil Durk when he said, don't respond to shit with Von. I don't think that's what he's talking about. So let me see. What else did he say here to end it? He said, we are not the same, my boy. Ask your big dog. Now go call some real gangsters to step up for you. I'm going to be right here ready to rock out. DaBaby doesn't play, man. DaBaby is in that point of his career where he can handle a case if he has to handle a case. So he's going to run up and swing, you know what I mean? And pay for it later. So DaBaby is one of the realists, man. He's one of those dudes who hasn't been converted by the system, been converted by the industry. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys get a little bit softer once they get involved with situations. DaBaby isn't like that, you guys. DaBaby, like, the way he came into the game was too cold. You know what I mean? That shit was too cold. Got a lot of respect for DaBaby. I don't think he liked getting a message, apparently being asked to choose sides, being asked to choose who and who he cannot make money with. A lot of people don't like that choosing sides shit, man. DaBaby, I know, had a relationship with Lil Baby. So, and I don't remember if Lil Durk had worked with DaBaby yet, though. Can somebody clarify that in the chat? But let me see. Who do we got in the... Oh, it's 50-50 right now. Who y'all riding with, man? I want to know. Who are y'all riding with? Lil Durk or DaBaby, man? Vote in the chat right now. I want everybody to vote in the chat right now. And we're about to get into our main event, man. Because we talked about the Kodak Black details that Wack had spoke on, but now we got to speak on this whole Wack 100 wanting to squabble with Meek Mill. I'm not really understanding why Wack wants to squabble with Meek. He led on about Meek on the Drink Champs episode where he said at one point when the game was beefing with Meek, he got a call. Wack 100 said he got a call, and they were like, listen, don't respond to shit with Vaughn. No, they called Wack and they said, yo, Wack, don't pull up to Philly. Do not pull up to Philly. It's not going to be a good look for you if you pull up to Philly. The game had been dissing Meek Mill. The game had been dissing Meek Mill like crazy. He had been going off on him. If somebody could let me know what that beef was about with Meek Mill in the game, was it the game standing up for Nicki Minaj at that point? Like, what was that whole situation over with the game and Meek Mill? I really didn't get that whole beef, but the game went crazy. He went absolutely crazy on Meek Mill. Meek had a very bland response. You know what I mean? Meek... Yo, AC, put that chat. Put that vote in the chat. Same with you, Kev. Appreciate you guys. Meek's responses to the game weren't really that dope. You know what I mean? He did have that one freestyle where he was like, 50 Cent dropped you, Young Thug checked you, disrespect you. You know what I mean? Meek Mill had that shit, but the game shit just could not be tampered with. And then, so what happens? Normally you get that call 7 or 8 times out of 10, the rapper will more than likely go to the city and leave the city right away. So the game apparently was pulling in with 2 big tour buses. 2 big tour buses with his face on them. And he did the show. Wack 100's word was they survived the show. So I guess he might have been on edge a little bit using terms like they survived the show. You know what I mean? They leave. They leave. Game decides he wants a cheesesteak. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, pest control. Yo, what was that shit, Zeth? like 9.5 minutes long. Yeah. Yeah, I'm smoking, so light up more, right? I'm the only blogger that lights up more. I don't know another blogger who lights up as much as me, man. So they finish the show, right? And Game decides that he wants a cheesesteak. He wants a cheesesteak. So he goes to one of the spots that gets dissed like crazy. You always hear about Pat's and Geno's, and they always get dissed like crazy. But I guess they must be open like 24 hours a day or something, because apparently the Game went there at like midnight. You know what I'm saying? Apparently he went there at like midnight. So I guess they're open all night or something. I'm not really too sure. If anybody's in Philly in the chat can clarify that or not. But he says he went there late at night after the show. I mean, I do know some spots, like back in the day when I lived in Miami, after we would leave the club at like 3, 4, 5, not 3, like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, we would go to get this one chicken spot where you get oh man, it was amazing. This little spot right on the beach. You go and you get some chicken, and it really wasn't that expensive right after the club. But anyways. Yeah. Yeah, Shelton. He said at 12, which is kind of crazy. That's a little bit late. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's kind of late, right? So I'm just wondering where Wack's issues really come into play. Like, did he just have that issue because Meek Mill dissed the Game, throughout all the people in the industry that were dissing the Game? Or does actually, I know where his issue comes from. Now I'm remembering. So Wack, has an issue with Wack has an issue with the fact that somebody called him and said, "Don't come to the show or it's going to be bad for you," right? But also it goes back further, you guys, because Wack 100 actually explained that he is the one who ended the beef with Meek Mill in the Game. Wack 100 had gotten a call. Chase, that's that could be a factor. No, it goes back a little bit further. It goes back a little bit further. Wack 100 having issues with Meek Mill. It goes back a little bit further than 6ix9ine. It actually goes back a little bit further than that. Well, actually it could tie into it. Like the fact that this is why he's so ready to diss Meek Mill. The fact that he actually ended the beef with Meek Mill in the Game. Wack 100 actually was the one who ended the beef with Meek Mill in the Game. There was a guy named Tok who got in contact with Wack. Meek had just gotten out of jail, apparently. He wanted to get on the phone with the Game. Wack 100 brought it to the Game's attention. He said, "Yo, Game, will you talk with Meek?" Apparently Game wasn't really hearing it. Game was like, "I don't really want to do it." Wack asked him to do it. Game was like, "Yo, I'm gonna hear him out." The Game said he would hear out Meek Mill. They obviously had a conversation, and the beef was put to rest. Even after all the diss tracks, because you guys got to remember, Meek Mill and the Game did have a previous relationship. Wack has been on Clubhouse before and said that Meek Mill and the Game worked pretty naturally together when it came to the studio. I felt the same way as well. What was it called? The Game featuring Meek Mill soundtrack. Exactly. That was the first song that I heard from the Game and Meek Mill. It was called Soundtrack. Yo, The Game is obviously well respected, y'all. When Nori had the Game on Drink Champs, Drake actually called up. Drake called up and was talking with Nori. They were FaceTiming. I believe he called the Game first, but the Game put Nori on with Drake, and they were actually FaceTiming. So people really look at the Game with a high regard. You know what I'm saying? They look at him with a very, very high regard. And that's why it was dope that Meek Mill actually took the time out of his life to call Game when he got out of jail. They could have that conversation. Meek Mill and him could talk, you know. Now, why would Wack 100 want to squabble with Meek Mill after the fact? Game has put aside his issues with Meek. They're done. They may work together in the future, possibly, more than likely on Game's album. They could have been Meek could have been on Drillmatic instead of all this bullshit. You know, I wanted to say a little bit about what the Game has going for Drillmatic right now. You know, the Game is actually working with Kanye West. The Game is working with James Cruz, who was working with CJ earlier this year. James Cruz is known to work with Puff, talking about Diddy, Papa Diddy Pop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly, Shelton. Game called Drake, put him on the line with Nori. They were FaceTiming. Really shows you how much of an impact Game has in the industry, because a lot of these rappers look at Game as one of the originals, one of the guys who came out when the music industry was at a different place. Yeah, he was one of the last of those guys, man. He was. That's why a lot of new artists look at Wack 100 in amazement. They're like, oh, that was the guy who worked with the Game. But they don't exactly know the real story of it. You know what I mean? They kind of know the Game from all of his history, but some of these guys were born in 1997. So that means in 2005, when the Game dropped their album, they were 8 years old, not really able to experience it the same way that I was, being more like 15 or 16 years old, purchasing the album, getting to listen to it. You know what I mean? Even purchasing the Untold Stories album. But I digress. Call it a sidebar, man. Wack 100, in my opinion, due to the fact that the Game is now cool with Meek, should not be talking about squabbling with this man. You know, it really doesn't make any sense, because that ruins every option that you could have. Now, the Game was saying on this show, he's like, yo, I do not agree. Nori was like, do you agree with some of the stuff that he says? Do you agree with do you not agree with some of it? He's like, I don't agree with any of it. Obviously, he was saying this in a comical way. You know what I mean? Obviously, he was saying this in a comical way. And even when it was brought up by FN about a celebrity boxing fight, which Wack said he would be open to, I believe. Wack said he would be open to a squabble. Celebrity boxing, could it be in the works? Would they both sign on the contract? We'll have to wait and see if that would ever even be put on the table. I don't think Meek would sign off on it. He's just too major of a superstar. You know what I mean? Meek doesn't need a check like that. He doesn't need to go get a bag like that. He's not at that point of his career where he needs to go out and release Dreams and Nightmares Part 2. You know what I mean? Now, he could always keep that in the back pocket, just like the Game had the documentary to, but Meek Mill is currently thriving. That's another topic I'm not really going to speak on tonight. You know what I'm saying? Meek Mill's current whereabouts in the industry. I think we all saw him put out the Expensive Pain album. It came out, it did some numbers right away. You know what I'm saying? It did some numbers right away. It caught a little bit of controversy, which might have stalled it out a little bit. But that's just not what we're talking about today. We'll talk about the sales of that on another day and the stature of these artists on another day. But I just don't think that Wack 100 should be like entertaining the idea of a potential squabble, which is not a boxing related fight, something to happen outside of, a boxing ring, outside of something that is legal. you know, outside of a legal standing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that Wack should be trying to do that, you know, like what 6ix9ine did, rolling up on Meek and trying to film it for his Instagram, and that being the most embarrassing 1.5 minutes of footage that I've ever seen on the internet. You know, that shit was freaking stupid, with two people yelling at each other or one dude yelling behind his bodyguard. That shit was whack, man. It didn't make him look good whatsoever, you know? And the Wack 100, while the game has ended his beef with Meek, coming out here and saying that he would squabble with Meek does not make their camp look good whatsoever. Instead of that, he should be using instead of talking about that, he should be using that energy to get Meek Mill on Drillmatic. Point blank, period. Because, you know, you've heard who I've said is working with the game right now, from people associated with Diddy to, to Kanye West. They needed to get Meek Mill on the album. Never mind beefing with him. Shit is stupid, man. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make no sense. But yeah, man, those are the topics today. Crazy how Wack 100 actually won when it came to the fan vote of of who would win in a celebrity boxing match. Wack took it about 60-40. And now in the poll today, who are you riding with? We got another poll up right now. If you haven't voted, let's vote right now, you guys. We still got 75 people in here. Who are y'all rocking with? Who who are you all riding with? That's what I want to know tonight. Are you riding with DaBaby? DaBaby has 35%. Or are you riding with Lil Durk? Lil Durk has 67%. I want to know. And also, you guys, I'm going to open it up since we got past our 3 topics for the night. I'm going to open it up. Also, this is my next interview right here. My next interview.
Yo, it's Easy the Block Captain. Like to give a shout out to Mikey T, the movie star, Gutter City, Philly shit, man, Mr. Himothy.
My next interview is with Easy the Block Captain. That's right. The hottest rapper. He's the hottest blogger too. He has an amazing YouTube channel, to be honest with you guys. He actually introduced me to Mom. So he's actually doing some really good shit. Man. I don't even want to hold you up. I don't even want to hold you guys up, man. He's actually doing some good shit. He actually just did a new movie. He actually did Take a look. We got a special surprise coming though, SV Twiz. We got a little special surprise for everybody. So hit those like buttons right now if you haven't hit the like button yet. Also vote in that poll. If you guys haven't voted in the poll tonight, wow. Actually, the better hip hop duo poll, Twiz, is 50-50 right now. We've got Arab and Dark Low 50%, Cameron and Vado 50%. Also, is my audio off, you guys? Is my audio off right now? The audio went down, you guys. Damn, let me check that. Also, is my audio off, you guys? Is my audio off right now? The audio went down, you guys? Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's anything wrong with the audio. Yeah, it's good. I think you guys just heard me cough a few times. Y'all. Sorry, I'm coughing. But y'all, I got something special for everybody tonight.
Uh-oh.
Something special for you, Twiz, being
Uh-oh.
the blogger out of Philly. Something special for all of our viewers who have been tuning in all night. Appreciate you all. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Freeway.
What's up, y'all? What's good with y'all?
Oh, man.
Jeez.
Oh,
I
man.
just wanted to stop in and say what's up, you know.
Salam alaikum, man.
Walaikum salam. So
man,
what's up,
Free.
bro?
That was
Were y'all tapped in here last night? Were y'all tapped in here last night to see this when Freeway popped in? Like, y'all, anything can happen on these live videos, man. Literally, anything can happen on these live videos. And we're about to start making anything happen on them.
really you, bro. I wasn't trying to comment because I didn't think that was you, man. It's heavy, man. We got Freezer in the building, man. Salute to you, Free.
It's love, man. Keep doing what you do, bro.
Appreciate you, man. It's an honor to have you in this joint, man. It's crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, Free. While I got you for a second, how was it getting the opportunity to be in Bel-Air, man? That was really heavy. How they not only used your music for the opening scene with Will Smith, but had you in a scene in the film.
Yeah, that was dope. I mean, when they reached out to me for the scene, you know, I was excited about it. We shot out LA and filmed it, but I didn't know.
Damn, he actually filmed that shit in LA, you guys. I didn't know they shot. I mean, I guess you must have figured they shot in LA. But if you guys want to see my exclusive interview with Freeway, well, we're going to do a much more in-depth interview. We're going to do it live here on YouTube as well. But if you guys want to check out that clip with Freeway, it's actually pinned up. So y'all can go take a look at that. Please drop a comment in there as well, y'all. Show some support on the channel. Let's take a look. Right now, I've got it open questions. Damn right, Bill. Freeway, one of the illest. I got open questions for everybody. Whoever wants to ask a question, right now is the time for you to ask that question, you guys. So anybody that wants to ask a question, you can ask it right now. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to play a little bit of this for a second.
Going to start the series off with the song and everything. That was real dope, man. It was a dope surprise. And they really on point because, you know, they implemented a lot of Philly artists and they in tune with the culture. That's why it's so successful so far.
How have you felt seeing the series play out? You know, I actually just spoke with Easy, the block captain, who plays the lead villain in the show.
Yeah, shout out to Easy. He doing his thing on all levels, on the battle scene, on a regular music scene, and he doing his thing on the acting. So, you know, salute him.
Hell yeah, man. He's really killing it. He's really killing it on that end. Did you ever think?
Matter of fact, I seen when we was out there shooting, we were staying at the same hotel, we bumped into each other, chopped it up.
That's what's up. Did you ever think we'd see Bel-Air get a relaunch like this? If you guys want to see that, just hit the link right there in my bio, man. I'm working always, man. I'm working double, even when I'm just working. Because, you know, last night, Freeway pulled up. It was an honor to have him show up on the channel. And, you know, sometimes you got to just kill two birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? So we had him. He wanted to come in and say hello to everybody, let the people know he was tuned in. But also, it's nice to give a little appetizer for the meal. You know what I'm saying? So it was nice to give the people a little bit of an appetizer. Freeway started getting into how it was the 19-year anniversary, the 19th anniversary, you guys, of Philadelphia Freeway. How's my audio, Lone Wolf, Shelton? Everything good on the audio, bros? I appreciate y'all holding me down on the audio tip. Man, when we make this shit, we're gonna need y'all as my sound engineers and shit like that. But yeah, I need so right now I'm just gonna open it up to the chat. Neo, appreciate you, bro. If anybody has any open questions, this time is yours right now. For everybody that wants to ask me anything that's on their mind, it doesn't have to be related actually to the topics of tonight. It doesn't have to be related to DaBaby, Lil Durk, MEMO600, Wack 100, Meek Mill, Squabble. Doesn't got to be related to even Kodak Black. Anything that you guys want to talk about, the floor is pretty much yours right now, y'all. And also, Twiz was suggesting the idea that we do an official call-in show where you guys can actually come in and we can discuss the topics together. If you guys have a certain question that you want to politic about, get a group discussion going about. So we really got to figure out one day of the week or one specific time to do that, because I think it would be powerful if we brought a lot of you guys in. Hell yeah, Shelton. Appreciate it. But let's do it, man. If anybody has any last questions before I get up out of here tonight, it's been a lit podcast, man. It's been a lit podcast. Neo says, I have a question. Have you ever considered doing a rapper performance / interview show? Well, I've had people on the show, but mostly they're spitting like a cappella. But yeah, man, that's something I would definitely consider doing, especially if it was like somebody trying to get me to come in, do a hosting on their platform. Yeah, that's something I would definitely consider doing. But on my channel, I have brought people in. We've done freestyles, like sort of like the old days of the ciphers, where you would just bring people in where you're not necessarily dissing one another, but it's a cipher of who has the best lyrics. So yeah, we really just need to find a day of the week where people would want to tap in, and we can really start having people showcase their skills. We put up polls in the chat. People vote on who was better. People vote on who should continue to the next round. But it's all about the engagement, you guys. Hit that like button. You know what happens when you hit the like button? It helps the algorithm. It helps this video pop up in more places that it needs to be. And that helps when we want more eyes to see what we are doing. Like when we're doing things like we're showcasing upcoming talent, Appreciate you, James Brown. If anybody, hell yeah, Neo King. Yeah, man, we'll see what's going on with it, bro. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Anybody here that has not followed me on Instagram, I want you to follow me right now. On Instagram, you'll be made aware of a whole bunch of different shit, man, like interviews that I just finished that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks or next week or the next day. I'll follow you guys back on Instagram. So if y'all are on the gram, go follow me right now. If you guys want to check out that exclusive interview, if you guys want to check out that exclusive preview, I'm going to call it an appetizer, the appetizer to the main course with Freeway. It's up there, pinned right now. Let me take a look at this poll. And remember, we're at the final questions portion of the show. If anybody has any last questions, hit them now. Iceberg says, we definitely need a call-in line. They state their name and hood and give their brief opinion on the topic. Dope idea from Twiz. Yeah, we're going to start implementing things like that, Berg. You know what I mean? I just need everybody ready for it. I need all of you ready for it. I need all of you guys to actually be ready to tune in, to put yourself out there, whether you want to put yourself out there as an artist or if you want to put yourself out there as a producer, as a singer, as a musician of any sort. If you want to put yourself out there as a blogger, that's all we need is for you guys to be ready. See, we need CEOs in here too. CEOs talk as well. You know what I'm saying? Producers talk as well. Bloggers, we live to talk. So I need you guys to be ready to tap in here because I'm going to share the platform and let you guys give your own opinion on some of these thoughts as well. I want to hear what you got to say. We talk in the chat all the time, but I need y'all ready. I need y'all to be ready to do it. It's simply just clicking on a StreamYard link. When you're doing it, the best way to usually do it is Google Chrome. Make sure you have Google Chrome on your whether it's your phone or it's your computer, whatever or your iPad, whatever device you're using. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. You already know, man. Appreciate that, Dave. Appreciate that, man. That's all it's about, man. It's about cross promoting. It's about building. It's about taking this platform to the next level. It's about putting out the consistent news, interviews, doing entertaining projects like watch alongs. You know what I'm saying? Implementing new shows like live interviews and also new ideas like the live call in. That's what's going to make the channel, excuse me, Rick and Morty. That's going to be what makes the channel. Yeah, my little brother got me that shit for some reason. He knows I'm like Biggie when it comes to smoking and shit. But that's what it's about, to make the channel grow, implementing all types of new ideas like that. So I appreciate everybody for tapping into the live tonight. It was an epic episode, man. I appreciate everybody that also tuned in for my first ever interview on Clubhouse, you guys. I just did a Clubhouse interview. I'm getting my feet wet over there. So I appreciate everybody that is really keeping up to date with us. And we will see you tomorrow. I'm going to be dropping my exclusive interview with Easy, the block captain. But right now, hit the link pinned and go check out the exclusive with Freeway. And he speaks on that battle with Cassidy as well, you guys. If you want to hear about the battle with Cassidy, click that link. Freeway's talking about it. Love.